Ladies, are you ready?
Oh, it's time. Let's go. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Clock In. I'm Shaima. And I'm Suheir. This episode is very special. Why? Because it's towards the end of the year. And Suhair and I started this Clock In project, if you may, about 6 months ago, and we wanted to stop at a reflection. And you know what we wanted to do? We wanted to share that reflection with you. We wanted to do it live with you and see where did we start, where have we come to, and where we're going. And we'd love to do that with you. So I want to start off by asking my lovely Suhair. Suhair, we started clocking 6 months ago, but I came up to you with the idea of clocking about 10 months ago, almost a year, right? February. Something like that. And when came up and I told you, hey, Suhair, let's do Clock In as a podcast. What was your reaction to my idea? I thought it was a crazy idea. But a crazy person, what should you think? No, it was something that I never thought of or about. And the idea of talking about and addressing things that sometimes better not to be said was hard. And I wasn't sure how everyone would react to it. Okay, because somehow we're used to a certain comfort zone. We talk and we speak about things, but not in a podcast where a lot of people will be listening to it. And at the same time, of course, recording a podcast is something new to me. I never recorded it via camera or I stood in front of a camera. So I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't sure that I will be comfortable, to be honest, and doing this in front of a camera, but I've never done a podcast. I've watched podcasts before, but for me previously, when I was in front of a camera, I always had a script or I was told what to say and do. But that's not what you and I do over here at all. No. If you guys ever see what we do behind the camera, we just throw some ideas. And we try to. The first one actually was the one that was scripted, and that's why I believe we were very nervous. Yes. For me, I wasn't comfortable because everything was scripted in the introduction. And if you'd like, go back and see how it changed. Yeah, and the reason we scripted that because we were so conscious, nervous, that we wanted people to understand why we were doing Clock In, which will come in a moment with that. We wanted people to see our vision of what we wanted to do with Clock In. So we were scared, honestly, because she had never done podcast before. We were scared that we were going to fail in how we communicate our message. So we were like, you know what, let's script it. True. It was the worst thing we did. Go back, like Suhey said, go back to the first episode and have a look at it. I swear, like when from the second episode onwards, we just discuss the topics and then it will flow. But the first one, I know I was wrong. I was too conscious of trying to say the exact words on the screen. But what was interesting when we announced it, when we announced our introduction, okay, we received a lot of feedback. Oh, so what are you gonna be doing? What are you gonna be talking about? We got some good engagement on the first post because everyone was curious about what those two. So for those of us personally, now the ones who asked about what we're exactly going to be talking about, they're curious. The people who know us, and we're very outspoken women in the workplace. We are known to be blunt. I am more blunt than she is. She's more diplomatic than I am. But I don't stop. No, no, you don't stop. Like I said, there's a level with I am more blunt. I mean, you're more diplomatic. I can get away with it because I'm a lawyer. I'm legal. I'm the legal department. People don't like me anyways. Problem with her, she's customer experience and customer engagement. She needs to keep people. hate me anyways. Whatever I say doesn't matter to you. But together we were known. Suhair is known for not holding back her opinion. Shayla is known for not holding back her tongue, right? And so when we announced we both of us were doing a podcast together, the question marks that came up is that really you both what? And I think people were scared we were going to bring up names, which we tried not. I don't think that wasn't our intention, actually. No. Because the objective of our program, anyways, or our podcast was just to address things that happens when people go into the workplace. What happens when you clock in and go into the working environment? Why do we always have to wear a mask when we go on inside? What do we can what can we say? What can't we say? That was our objective. Yeah, because Suhair brings in close to 30 years of experience. I am about 20 years of experience, right? And we're not trying to snitch on anybody. What we were trying to do is, and we had this for both of us. Okay, although it doesn't appear for me, but it usually had. We had a lot of women come and speak to us and take advice. 100%. I coached a lot of women before I take up coaching as a profession. At the work. I was a mentor. I had a mentoring group in part of the company I was in. So women ask, so we not only bring our stories, we bring the stories of women, other women who struggled and came to seek support. I won't say I don't want to say assistance or advice. Inshallah, we gave the best of advice. But when they asked for support, sometimes they just wanted someone to hear them, to see them. Right? So this is what Suhail and I wanted to bring with Clock In to cast a spotlight on the issues that women or any professionals will come up with topics that even men struggle. And we will bring in male guests to our podcast. We're not outcasting you men, don't worry. Well, the way we planned it is that in 2025, we were going to discuss issues that are stressful and women would like to talk about and give them our feedback on it. Okay? Because those are the topics that a lot of women and a lot of companies actually were addressing when we started to talk about DEI, etc. And your famous list. Exactly. And then I believe towards the last episode, and hopefully you watched it as well, where I hosted my daughter in it. And the high, always advertising. Exactly. Because I'm very proud. والله well deserved صراحة. That's what actually drove me and gave me more courage to join you on this podcast on you, as I told you, because I want to do it because of my daughters as well. Because we want every girl to feel comfortable in a working environment that she chooses to go to. Some of them maybe they don't want to work, but that's a choice that they should have and they should be comfortable with. No one should judge anyone. But in this last episode of this year, we introduced guests, right? Next year, we said we're going to expand it and start to host men because we said we are partners and the change will not happen unless men and women talk about it and make more comfortable environment, working environment for all. And because we're not as much as yeah, but not only that, as much as we want to cast the spotlight on women's challenges, but women are not the only ones who face challenges at work. Men do. Okay, men face a lot of challenges and a lot of backlash, by the way. And we're not the best of people to speak on behalf of the men, unlike a lot of men who would like to speak on behalf of the women. Okay, but we don't want to do that. So instead, to be fair and to be able to provide a proper, unbiased voice, because this is what this podcast is about voices, is we want to host men in the professional world so then they can come and explain to us, like the way we are explaining how we women are facing challenges in the workplace. We would like to hear a man's point of view. Maybe, and this is genuine. What if women, the way we're pushing women, is harmful on what will happen to men? Harmful, not just annoying, right? We want to hear their perspective. Definitely. Okay. So this is what Soya saying. We want to expand, but not only so that we want their support, we want to support them too. And if this podcast can be a platform for the men to voice their challenges, why not? It's called clock in, not woman clock in. I know, right? It's just clock in. Everyone clocks into work. So let me ask you, and this is going to be fun, and you already brought it up before, and you said that you were nervous. We were both nervous on the first episode, but you were extra nervous because you've never been in front of the camera. Although you've done a lot of presentations, you've presented in front of people, webinars, and the like, right? This 5 episodes that we have completed so far, until even the guests, we've done 5 episodes. Yeah. Did you learn something new about yourself? Oh, definitely. I feel much more comfortable. Okay. Whether recording in front of a camera, talking about my experience. Okay. And it really, really made me believe, or it have raised my self confidence in what I do and the way I feel about myself. Because on every episode, we were talking about something that we went through. And I believe the way it was addressed, and we addressed it, was in a very professional way, where at least we will remove emotions and just address the issues. And that's practically, logically. Exactly. And from episode 1, where I was nervous and all that, am I gonna say this? Let's try not to make a mistake and mention a name, although I mentioned one time the company name. A company, yeah, and go to exactly. Names are there. But other than that, it gave me the push to actually do more research. I started to look at data, because we're not talking about things out of the blue or only because of experiences that we went through. It's actually a universal issue and subjects that we had to talk about. Okay. And through the episode, you see that we were referring to data. Yes, whether globally or whether locally. Yeah. And this hopefully gave us some credibility with you to trust that what we're saying is not only based on this. We're basing everything on research and on experiences. Definitely. Yeah. So it did change the way I look at things. It gave me, again, more confidence. It boosted my confidence and my trust in myself. Okay. I'm more worthy. That's how I look at it. Like, people will ask, oh, so why did you say that? I said that because of ABC. And they said, oh, we didn't know that this was happening. So it is, look at it in your organization. And what was interesting, that quite few men didn't even realize that it's happening or it's affecting their employee this way. So I'm happy that people started to reach out to me and ask questions, not because only something that I said, but it opened their eyes to things within their own organizations as well. So that's what I feel. So I feel that it was a nice. For me, as a lawyer, as it is in meetings, I am attuned to listen. So in the podcast, I've learned to listen more to you, to our guests, but I think the biggest thing I learned, and if you know me personally, you're gonna laugh at this. I am very opinionated. Yeah. Yeah. I am extremely opinionated. Serious. Look at look at the rich people. Ah, so because I am opinionated, I always rush in to add my opinion. And to your notes where you said more confidence in your worth, in your value, this is really what I even got from this podcast. And with it, what came is, even if I don't give you my opinion, even if I don't share in my 2 cents, okay, I am content with who I am. I know I'm worthy, I am valuable. And so, what I've learned is, even if I have an opinion, I can hold back now. And I've actually noticed this, I have to say this truly, with my clients. When I speak to them, I am more comfortable with keeping my opinion in my head and not speaking it out. That's one of the things I've learned over there. So it kind of, yes, and the good thing is, we will be very honest. Right now, this moment at the end of 2025, we don't have a huge followership. We are still beginners. We're baby podcasters, right? And so it's not like uh, we're famous right now or anything, but yet we know what we are doing is of value. And whoever chooses to follow us and whoever chooses to listen to us will walk away with some value or the other. That's how I see it.
And that's the objective. That was our purpose from the beginning. We're doing this because it's not because we someone is paying us.
We're not being paid. We're paid for everything, the equipment, the space, everything.
It's just
Don't you like the new space, by the way? Tell us in the captions your opinion. Do you like the new space?
so, and that's why I think it's still fun for us, and it will be more fun in the future.
I think so too. So first of all, kudos for your lovely daughters. And thank you, girls. Because of you, she's agreed to do this podcast with me. Or else I had to do it solo. And I can tell you, I know I have experiences, I have some value, but when you bounce off ideas with another intelligent human being, it is just so much more fun, so much more valuable. I will tell you, one of our what you call it, one of our observations after episode 2, because episode 1 we were very robotic, very nervous. We were not happy with episode 1, but we let it be because we promised ourselves that we will just present ourselves as is. We won't fake anything. And if that was what we were at episode 1, then that is what we are at episode 1. We were not going to go and beautify it. We were nervous.
No filters, we said.
Yeah. And so in episode 2, our natural flow came out. And I would say we both were extremely pleasantly surprised after when we finished, when we cut episode 2. We were like, we had an amazing chemistry.
And we were so comfortable.
Yeah.
And everything just flew.
And the idea is, when I was talking to, if I had the podcast myself versus speaking to an intelligent person, in improvisation, and in a previous episode we had Mina, and I did improv with Mina, and there is a concept called yes and. Because if you tell someone no, you block the way. But if you say yes and, the potential and the opportunities are limitless. We do so much yes and in our episodes. Suheir says something, I top it up, and then we top it up. And you have no idea how much fun we have doing these episodes. I have a lot of fun.
Same here. Same here.
And I learn a lot from you every time we do these
Thank you.
episodes.
Thank you. Same here.
يعني ما شاء الله
Different
مدرسة.
perspectives. حبيبتي.
So here, looks like we're doing an interview, by the way. We wanna let our viewers know what do we want to bring to our new year in 2026. What do we envision our clock in to do in 2026?
We just mentioned that we want to expand on the topics.
Hmm.
We really want to build a community.
Which means pass on topics to us, right?
Please
Then
do.
in our social media, in comments, send them to us by emails. You know, we're two women, and we are our thoughts are and ideas are limited to our own experiences. We would love if you want to have topics, if you want to be on our podcast, write to us.
Please.
Write to us. Why do
Actually,
you
we
want to
had
be?
two people who asked for it.
I had
Firsthand in Canada.
and I had someone from Bahrain. Okay, this was a guy. He's begging to be on our podcast. And he's from Bahrain.
So please, as Shaima mentioned, send us just a note. Yes, and you're more than welcome to be on our.
So back to I cut you off.
No,
Expanding our topic.
expanding our topics, because it will be amazing if we can all become one community where we discuss how to change naturally the working environment
Mhm.
for anyone. Okay, and let's forget about the uh, acronyms that are being used. DEI. We have to have a quota. We have to have this. We have to have that. As we've mentioned before, women are half of the population.
More
Working,
than half, actually, in a lot of places.
but let's assume this is the minimum. You have 50-50%. And in order to grow, we don't compete. We complement each other, as we always say. And this is the type of community that we want to grow. And
So
hopefully
to add, to add to you, sorry. So just to add on to what your thought is, to the fact of the acronyms of DEI and the like, these are all face value things. They're sham. They are to make corporations look good on paper, in media, on advertising and marketing. What we ask, like Suhair said, a community where we can tackle matters at its core.
from all generations.
Yeah, at its core, right now, at its core. And I'm going to be a little funny and silly on this, but my sincerest apologies. Now we are Gen X, both of us. Okay, and we're still in the workforce. And the largest part of the workforce right now are millennials. Our biggest challenge is dealing with Gen Z. So if we can get a few Gen Z, and this is for the if we can get a few Gen Z that will give us the manual to how to work with you,
that will be amazing.
Because our work ethics is different. We are people who lived before the internet was made. We are people who did researches and searches before Google was invented, right? We are talking about Gen Z who have AI who does all the thinking for them. They don't need to do that. So the way they approach work, I'm not saying any one of us is correct and any one of us is wrong. I am just saying the environment in which we have become a workforce differs from the other. Okay. So the environment in which Gen Z has learned to work differs from the environment we had to learn to work. So we would love to get Gen Zs to come up and explain to us how to deal with them at workforce. We already said we want men to come up and tell us how do we create this. So here what she said, a community that handles things at core level, not shallow with names and no. We want to make a difference that supersedes the concept of work life balance.
And just on the work life balance.
I don't like that concept.
No, but it's just to reconfirm the importance of having everyone involved. Because if you are married,
Yes.
and you're working, your husband is working, you can't achieve this goal unless you have the support of
Your partner.
And that's why it's so important to have this community, men and women.
I agree. And also with the community, I am unmarried, right? I'm not married. I'm not advertising myself, by the way. Right? But in the sense then I have to be a little more empathic and understanding to a woman who's married and has kids, right? Just because I am not married and kids, that doesn't mean I'm better, or you know what, I am more free. Or the point is, we really need to create a community that our differences allows us to understand and appreciate each other more. Definitely. Right? Definitely. And that's what we want to achieve in 2026 with your help. Our listeners, our followers, and we hope that you can put in comments in our social media on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, where I know we're very weak on TikTok. We really should start working on that. But or even email us. You don't want your comments to be in public, send us an email. You want to refer to one of us instead. For example, you're a married woman, you have kids, you think Suheir understands you better than Shaima would, right? If you're a nerd, book nerd who's obsessed with studying, you probably would think Shaima is the person. So the point is that you can even write and say, "Oh, I want Shaima to answer me, or I want Suhair to answer me," and we're okay with this. We're partners in this, and we won't take any offense or be upset about this. But this is what we want to bring in 2026. We want to be able to, like Suhair said, create a community where our differences bring us together, make us understand each other, and create a support system rather than a competition to each other. Right? Yep. Any last words that you would like to close our 2025 with? Actually, took her by surprise. She didn't expect that. No, no. But actually, I'd like to show my appreciation to everyone who listened to our episodes, to who supported us in every way, and we are blessed to have you in our lives. True. That's what I would like to end up this episode, because without this, we wouldn't have been here today. No, without their support. Absolutely. And I would like to add that, first of all, I'd like to appreciate my partner in crime with you. Okay, I would not have been able to do this on my own. I wouldn't have been able to do this. So I don't know if you guys noticed. I doubt you've noticed if you don't know. Amongst us, I am the introvert. She's the extrovert, by the way. That's what. Okay, so, but in front of this is in front of the people, in front of the camera, it appears the other way around. I am more comfortable because you guys are behind me. It's so true. So I am more yeah, I am more comfortable speaking to a camera than I am comfortable speaking to people right away. I get very nervous. She has to adopt me by taking me to events or something. And she is magic with people. She's absolute magic. But if you noticed from day one that we've recorded, there is a glow and grow in Suhair. And I think by 2026, she's going to beat all of us. She's going to be the extrovert off camera and on camera. No, that I don't think we're it. But my truest appreciation to you, my partner. You've been an amazing person to speak to be doing this with. Of course, to our support system, our families who believed we could do this. They did. They supported us. They pushed us. For me personally, my family's like, why not? Yeah, definitely. It was like, why not? So with that, just a reminder, we publish our podcasts every other Wednesday of the month. And so every Wednesday, just be online. We'll publish something or the other for you. You'll know if it's the episode or the teasers. And thank you very much for watching us thus far. Hope we can always bring to you things that are of value and something that can change your life to the better. Right? Thank you. And Happy New Year to you and your families. And we wish you a very prosperous, very amazing, and very successful 2026. See you in 2026. Lock out. Thank you.